Magic spot. This light
All right, all my fine judo newbies, judo groupies, judo puppies, judo wolves.
There we go.
He's smiling.
Tigers.
Everybody's grouped across the line.
All you judo huskies. I showed a video this morning to Greg and Nancy, and Jack was watching it. You know how dogs that do the agility courses for agility trials, and they have those formal, well, they've been at Nationals was 4 days in Colorado, and they're running all the dogs, and most of them are pretty good. And the difference between a real dog, a real agility dog, and a husky is portrayed very well in this video. So the dog starts off fine going through, goes up and over this big walkover thing, and all of a sudden the dog looks around and goes, woo, woo, and just takes off. It's supposed to go through a little tunnel, looked at, takes off, running, just starts running all over the course. Of course, the music's playing, and the lady running the dog's trying to, you know, and it's this dog, and it comes running through, and it clears that barrel, the little tunnel thing, by probably this high, and probably 10 feet. And it's hilarious.
It's the rope on the line
To notice the difference. You're going to find out in a minute. See, the circle's over here. We got to come over here to bow in.
Go anywhere you want.
Felt a lot safer on that side of the road. I think we came into the deep end of the pool.
Okay, ready? All right. We spent the last 2 days getting slammed and slammed and slammed and slammed, and then spent a few minutes getting choked and crunched and choked. So if we're up for more of that, that's fine. We can do that. I have other plans.
Okay. That's awesome. I love it.
You'll notice Greg's not here.
Damon's here.
You must have okay Uchimata, by the way.
Oh, I know, he likes my Uchimata. Ouchie, ouchie. Itaialata.
No questions.
Big inside pain. I know you had something specific you wanted, right?
Oh, I just wanted to see
The Ouchi.
Ouchigari.
Okay, you missed that earlier today. Sorry.
I was out for most of the day.
We kept him up too late.
That'll do it. So be thinking in the next few minutes, because you know how I work. I want to work to your needs and what you want, because we've got different levels and stuff. What Gary gave you, and we were talking last night, is that's what he goes in. If he goes into A&M to teach a beginning class, those are the beginning techniques that he teaches to everybody. Okay, so those are introductory level techniques, and they're rote techniques, just over and over and over till you get the entries, you know, because uchikomi is nothing more than what? Teaching your hands how to operate, teaching your hips where to go, teaching your feet where to go, and making the throw perform in a static position. But we're more dynamic than that, okay? So what I want to do is work on maybe how to lead into some of those techniques and make them fit like gloves. And use the same techniques or your technique or the Ouchi and show you how I work that in. And then I'm going to give you some information in a few minutes about how to operate and how to start thinking of your own body and how to start working with a partner to make those things fit in practice. And then you can start dialoguing and thinking about how to turn those into drills for your people so you can practice those things moving instead of statically. You go from uchikomi to nagikomi to stegeko to randori. Most people start randori way too early, okay? And I want to start off by emphasizing, when you go back to your school, teach people how to fall, okay? Optimus Club does a very poor job of it. and people get hurt because of it. And when you have someone that's new that doesn't know how to fall, they're afraid to fall. Nancy got hurt because she was trying to lift some big new guy and doing what she wasn't supposed to be doing to begin with, but still being the good follower and teaching, and we're all putting ourselves at risk by not exercising our thought processes and what we really should be doing. And is this right for this person? And is this right for me? So don't ever put yourself at risk. What's my first rule? Now, what's my first rule? Y'all remember? I have 5. The rule of 5.
Respect yourself.
Don't do anything that will hurt yourself or somebody else. Okay? Don't say anything that will hurt yourself or somebody else. No discounts for yourself or anybody. And that doesn't have to be external. That self-talk will beat you up too. Be committed to the time. Don't leave anybody out. And the thumb meter. Between here and here, we're okay. From here to here, there's a problem. When you get to here and it starts dropping, try to stop and assess the problem. Don't wait till it gets to here. Then it's too late. Remember the circle with the comfort zone and the learning zone? Okay, the twilight zone. Don't get to the twilight zone. Panic zone, learning zone, happy zone. Okay, so let's stay there. Does that make sense? Awesome. All right. Now you guys can all stand. Yeah, we better move the rope over here. Yeah. Okay, here's a concept. This is a children's game played in Japan, Judo. And it's a competition. I was introduced to this at an early age. Let's see, Damon, you're Studley.
Sure.
Why don't you take that in?
Right.
I'll take this in.
That's right.
And in this game, you have to take the rope, and you normally use a rope, and this goes around the waist. Doesn't matter which side. Got to back up a little bit, get a little tension. Now you can only hold with one hand, and you can't let go. If you let go, you lose. Okay? You can't grab the other side and pull. You can only hold this side. Okay? And the idea is to get the other person to move a foot first. So if I move my foot, I lose. If he moves his foot, he loses. And this is a game of understanding energy and force. So somebody say hi to me.
Hi, Janae.
The game is on, so you got to make me move my feet. I won. Okay, does that make sense? Now there are ways to apply power in judo and martial arts, and there are times when you have to, and there's times when you really shouldn't. You just got to let go. All right, just let me know when you're ready.
Go.
Okay, you ready? You sure?
Yes.
Positive?
Absolutely.
Okay. And there's ways to apply energy to different areas, and right now we're just using the hip and the hand, and all kinds of strange things happen. You want to try the other hand to see if that works better?
Like this?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm left-handed, so I'm giving you an advantage using my right hand.
All right.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and I want you guys to play with this, and you can do just one rope and watch each other, or you can, make a couple of these. Don't make those knots too tight, and don't play tug of war with this because you can't get the knots undone. So.
We have so many extra belts.
Yeah, I know, there's a bunch back there.
You can just tie them all you like. It's okay.
So do this with different people, and if you want to challenge me, you're more than welcome to. I've done this once or twice. Okay? And the first instructor that introduced this to me, that was quite the experience when I beat him. Oh, the look on his face, it was not pretty. Japanese guy. And I mean, he had lost his balance and fell to his face without moving his feet. Okay?
So
he didn't lose,
He
right?
was by God not gonna.
Well, he slid when he fell.
He finally moved, like everything else.
He had to get up. All right. So you can play to that level as long as you don't hurt yourself or hurt somebody else. All right. And then we'll come together and we'll talk about how this is going to apply to movement with your experience already and what we're going to do working with these different throws.
After they give up, if you hold it for a second and don't try to go for it, and wait for a second or two, and then add a little touch, it tends to work a whole lot better.
Okay?
It's like reeling in a fish, you know? You let them play a little bit, get a little bit more, a
Yeah.
little bit more, and then
Yeah.
they run out of
Yeah.
slack.
It's just like the tension when you're playing and they get off the end of those ropes, and you just give it a
And
little.
just a little pop it right at the end.
Yeah.
Now, Jimmy's really good at, he'll create tension here, and then he drops his butt
Yeah.
and changes the angle of the rope that gives you a little bit more lift. Okay? And if you're already out here to the end,
Yep.
it's hard to bring back. Okay? Somebody else?
One thing I noticed is if you run an extreme, you get all the way out or all the way around, you've got nothing left. You've got nothing,
You're working in
nothing to compensate with.
in the outlier.
So,
Why not?
I've just taken up all the slack and there's nothing left.
He's at the end of his rope.
Okay? Everybody get to the end of your rope.
Either way.
Either way, doesn't matter. Okay? Now here's a problem to solve for yourself. Is there any more or anything else you can do? Now I know Nick's already come up with an answer. Okay? I have an answer. I showed y'all. Okay? But is there another answer? Something to deal with. Y'all play with that for a second.
Yeah, once you're there, it's bad.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh, you moved!
Are we standing at the end of our rope? Or
Well, you can move your hand.
This is the other end of the rope.
come on up a little bit more.
I'm gonna get to this end.
Both did it at the same time.
But what did I do?
You moved the whole thing.
But I waited as you start to cock in. Yeah, you start to
I
turn.
can't go any farther back. Well, I can
And I'm paying attention to your hip
go like
and
that.
seeing what's going on, see?
Yeah, that's wicked. You're kind of giving me some pump fakes in there.
All the way
Yep.
to my range of
I'm fibrillating you
Yeah.
and not giving you permission to.
I don't know what happened there.
I know, it's interesting. I had my weight on my heels.
I just gave up the rope because I was thinking about something.
Yeah, and I had my weight on my heels. So.
I moved.
Not much left.
Can't do that?
I got better.
Now I'm gonna hook.
Had it working.
Yeah, that's.
All right, have we come up with any?
There's another thing to be completely.
Yeah. What have y'all come up with?
Well, I tried what you said, watching his hips and when he turned. And not sure what I was doing.
Watch
with
his
that.
toes.
You gotta feel it too, though, because we were doing stuff where we were tricking each other.
You can do the Watusi, so you can get in here and you can do the Watusi, okay? But the whole time I'm doing that, I'm waiting for him to either do that, in which case he's going to come back, and notice I'm going to cock my hip, and then I'm going to wait for him. As soon as he goes to pull back, I can pop his center. See? It's all done down here. And if your legs are locked and straight, you're at a disadvantage. But you've got this movement that helps this movement. This is why judo makes you sexy, guys. You learn to do that salsa thing that Greg can do so well. Okay? But you have to pay attention to what Uke's doing, and there's a call response thing that you can play off of. And if you work off of Uke's movement, instead of you being offensive and driving him off, if I'm just being offensive and I'm just trying to beat him, I can do that. But if he sees me come out and all of a sudden he just pops me, my center will pop and I'm gone. See? Anything else? Does that make sense? Even from the extreme, even from out here, I can do that. I just have to wait for him to make that motion. Instead of me trying to make him do something, I'm waiting to work off of his response.
I had an occasion where he was about to go, and I popped him and set him back on his way.
Yeah?
You can mess up your own.
Yeah, you can bring him right back onto balance. And lastly, there's 2 times when I was going down, but maintained tension. So my feet didn't move, but y'all did first. You just roll back on those heels and don't move. Don't walk. Okay? These guys are having too much fun over here. Dancing and doing randori. What do you feel in your hands? You have a lot of that stuff going on, okay? From a very subtle to a very dynamic and hard, painful, excruciating thing. And you know, when you try to block and the guy rips your gi or pulls it off of you, there's a lot of power going on in there. But do you need to play that game? No, because you can take a guy and we can do randori and you can go as hard or as soft as you want and I can create, he stopped his feet and I kept moving. I can create off balances right down the line using that same principle. Now, if I use my hips to drive my feet, all kinds of things happen. And I'm not necessarily pulling here. As soon as you pull uke, what happens?
Push your foot into the floor.
It plants your feet. But if I move him or wait for him to move me, it creates lots of movement opportunities. So now, let's play this game and see who can move each other's feet. Okay? Grab a partner, have fun. Now don't rip your fingernails off, break your fingers, punch each other in the jaw. Okay. Here you go, Jesse.
Threw me back on
Because he just pushed straight through, I just let him do it.
Funny, right?
That earlier session should really help you with this.
Wait for that. Okay. So, might give you a little something. Maybe react to it. Okay. No.
Don't think here as much as you want to think here. You can push with your center right up through your arm.
And if you notice, I'm not driving one down. There you go.
Okay. Now see how you're driving a lot with your hands? Okay. Go. There you go. Okay, what did I drive you with?
Once you started, I felt like it was coming over like a tidal
My
wave.
center came right up over.
Okay. I couldn't size it.
And your hands are just going,
I couldn't do anything about that one. Okay, ready?
Yeah.
That's okay.
okay. Don't push here,
Thing in the center.
push here.
Back it back in.
Oh,
Fine. If you push really hard, just try to.
now,
Center.
tension and release.
Okay. Yeah, especially if you push them hard, like wiring you out. Yeah. Get them bendable.
Ah,
Shot anyway. Drop myself. Okay. Okay. So if I'm pushing. Try to what?
pulled her right over the top of you, didn't you?
Bob, can you talk to her about not doing that? Hey, take her in the back and have about a 5-minute discussion on that etiquette. That's right.
Picking on people. The difference between this and the rope, which is, state the obvious,
A lot less distance.
state the obvious,
Tension, compression.
You can use both
Connection?
hands.
your both hands. Okay? You've got 2 wires instead of 1. Which a lot of times we stabilize each other. Okay? And even though I'm off balance over here, I can stabilize with the other hand. And it creates a conundrum, a more difficult problem to solve. So one of our biggest problems in judo is breaking through the both hands, the bars, the iron bars. All right? And statically, it's hard. Are y'all working harder?
Yep.
Yeah, and you're doing a lot more upper body, and I'm trying to get y'all to think about upper body, okay? And think about challenging joints and shoulders. If we're doing this, and now Jimmy's got slight pressure on me going back, and I've got slight pressure pushing him, but if I just vector that with very little energy, because he's got so much energy put into it. Now, if there's no energy in the system, now I can manipulate. Oh, his weight's on his heel. And now he's got a counter. You see? And I took the other hand off. Oh. If I keep both hands on, and I do this with the 2 connections, now we go. Now I got him, but you're more stable. So you have to learn to completely drop one hand instead of fighting with both hands, because you're giving different amounts of energy here. And it's just a whole different thing. And judo is done one hand at a time. See? So if he puts 2 hands on me and I do one,
That's way worse.
okay, now play with that.
It's like that monkey on a rope.
Yeah.
2 steel balls down here, as long as they're there.
He's stable going across the road. Oh. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. That's.
Now who's doing one hand, who's doing 2?
Okay.
There he goes. Who's doing 1? Now you're both doing 1.
You do just one.
Okay, let Brian do one.
Push your little finger right through his butt.
That was show me not to.
That works too.
One, you're doing one hand.
Before you do that, instead of doing this, think about, watch my hand. That. Here.
Palm into.
Put the little finger down through his butt.
Gotta believe her pretty.
You've got 2 hands.
Okay.
Okay, now, no, put your hand down, you don't need that hand. Okay, now, when you feel his weight rock to his heels, let's go.
You can rotate.
And watch what happens.
That might give you that little extra.
Let me try that.
If you go across like that.
Just put one hand on it. Don't switch hands, just put one hand on it. Doesn't matter where. Okay, now play the game.
You just pull down, you do your little pinky to my
Okay, now why is he overpowering?
I can see a lot of benefit out of that.
I'm not getting out of the well, I can't move my feet.
Okay, he's setting you on your heel. Okay, come here. Now he drives into me and drives me onto my heel.
I just pulled down too. I didn't.
Now what happened? Who won?
It's like a sacrifice, like mine I use.
When I came back on my heels, he became the long axis of the triangle, and his feet came off.
Yeah.
So you can send that energy over you. If you really want to mess with him, set his weight on his heels, then just drop your weight through it. Yeah.
Once I got there, then I just...
I'm just dropping energy right through.
Hitting it with another
And if I
line.
really want to mess with you,
Once you've established a reach of a
now
line,
here comes the shoulder circle. And that's just a matter of manipulating the shoulder.
Just setting up a rotation
creates-
all the way through. Wow.
But one hand beats two. One hand beats two.
You gotta believe it.
All right. One hand beats two. Okay. And then it's a matter of learning how to apply the energy correctly. Now, judo throws are designed so that your entry is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, hand, hand, foot, foot. Not necessarily in that order, because Osoto is step, pull, tuck, sweep. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So everything has to learn to work independently and not together. And a lot of times we move our hands together, and it stabilizes our feet and our entries to throws. Okay, so now let's start moving our feet a little bit. Now, Uke gets 2 hands, I get 1, because we just want to create an entry. Now he's going to do all kinds of, well, let's not do that to start with, but I want to just gain an entry. What do I want an entry for? Name a throw. Nothing weird. Ippon. Ochi. Okay, so here's Ippon. I'm going to step to here, pop, and come around. I have to let go because my Ippon arm has to come through. But I create the circle, and then I come in and he wraps around me. Okay?
But how did you do that?
When his foot floats here, I just step over here. I put him in a circle this way, okay? And then I turn in a small circle inside. So he's going that way, I go this way. Now Ochi, whole different ball game. This foot's going to come out. I'm going to come out. I'm just going to follow his line. I don't want to do this because 99% of the time it stops a lot of stuff and you end up having to pull that leg. And it works because I can do this and then drive through. There's nothing wrong with that. But my goal in soft or no-gi judo is to find the footprint and set him down. Understand kinesthetically through my feel as to where that thing's going to be That's your pawn. That's the O's. Okay? Now play with that. It's just walking. So you're not stepping off the line with your left foot.
Oh, did you do that on that one?
Wrong line. Step to this line.
Oh,
Step behind yourself. There you go. Now,
I'm still
see,
tangling up on myself.
because he ran into you.
Yeah?
So where are you going to have to step? Closer or farther?
Further away.
Further or earlier or later?
Here, you are to pull me around.
But I'm in my way here.
You're too early. Earlier or later? Wait for his foot to get out further. Wait. See, he's running you over.
Wait for my,
Wait for his foot to get further out here before you come in. See, wait, step change.
can I see the whole thing that you did so I can watch what your left foot does too, please?
Yeah, I can take the bigger step. You have to wait. Now I know where his footprints is going to be.
Thanks for that.